Sentimental waxing on aside about how my final journey is kind of coinciding with Samus's journey, of course we have another boss fight right here. Let's see what you got, Berenia. And again, I don't know the names of any of these guys. It doesn't matter what their name is. Ooh, Tentacle Monster. I've already seen more things with Samus and tentacles in it than I would like to admit, but hey, here we go. Tentacle Boss, why not? And I do love how, like, every cutscene that leads up to Dread, like a Dread boss, you see where the weak point is. The game is just fantastic about that. So I can aim at the shiny tentacle here. Might take a bit of damage, but I'm not really worried. This boss is kind of a cakewalk, honestly. Gonna hit this one right here, just like we saw in the cutscene. Go ahead and go up and over. Right over and do the same. And now this is where the fun begins. Open up! Oh wow, wasted a lot of missiles right there. Here it comes. Boom! No tentacles for Samus today! Haha! As disappointed as we all might be because of that. There we go, round 2. Still got 32 missiles left. Can I go ahead and hit it? There we go. Oh, and I should say, one thing that I really have not complimented the game for that I actually really appreciate, is how, in a lot of cutscenes, you'll actually see what's going on from Samus's visor in a first-person point of view. So definitely another idea, or just another element that was lifted from Metroid Prime, yeah. Or the Metroid Prime series, I guess you could call it Prime. Yeah, super easy boss, am I right? If you get that counter in, it absolutely stands no chance. But yeah, I really like how we kind of get the Metroid Prime, and I guess even Other M kind of had it in some segments that weren't that great, to be honest, but I said my piece on that one. But I do like how we get that, you know. See the world through Samus's eyes, even though it's a 2D game. Give us a little taste of what might be coming with Metroid Prime 4. But boy, I hope Metroid Prime 4 looks as impressive as this game. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I wouldn't say the Dread is like a graphical powerhouse, it's like a hallmark of the industry or something, but oh, I got that in one hit, man, that was like the other annoying grapple beam portion I was kind of alluding to whenever I was complaining about, but yeah, not really any problems there, huh? Maybe it isn't as big of an issue as I thought it was. Go down, there we go. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4, man, if Retro's track record is anything to go by, though, I think it's going to be a graphical treat, even if it is going to be on, man, hardware that is way too freaking old at that point. I mean, I'm getting kind of worried, because, you know, Prime 4 is kind of getting into vaporware territory at this point. I mean, there are rumblings about the Switch successor, you know, and it wouldn't really surprise me if Metroid Prime 4 is kind of like the Twilight Princess of its era, or whatever you want to call it, because, man, it's been a long time since that was announced. What are we on now? Year 3? No, year 5. No, it was 3 to 2020, and 2 since then. Yeah, 5 years since it was announcement. Since it was announced, oh my god, but I have all the bit of faith in Retro to really deliver a great product, and I'm sure graphical fidelity will be a part of that. Have I really talked about the graphics in Dread a ton? I don't think I really have. Okay, I'm gonna wax poetic a little bit more in a little bit for sure. Oh, we have another area! Man, yeah, I'm just ripping through this game, aren't I? And welcome to Gavaran! I believe it is, yeah, Gavaran. And look at all those little details in the background. Just look at the backgrounds right here. It's freaking beautiful. I love it so much. Granted, Dread already plays and controls so well, and the game is already so freaking awesome, that I would not have minded if it did have more of a budget game feel to it, as far as the visuals were concerned. But man, oh man, yeah, it's on the Switch, and compared to like pretty much every other game that we have at this point, it's not all that impressive. I say game, but like system that we have up to this point, it is not all that impressive. But my god, give me all my missiles back. Jesus, I needed that. But I think, man, for a 2D game on the Switch, it looks freaking fantastic. I hope if we do, gotta keep my fingers crossed on this, ever get like another 2D Metroid, dare I say, like, on this system, that it uses the same exact engine. And yeah, here we go! Another mechanical Chozo. Oh no. This is gonna be reoccurring, isn't it? Yeah, guys, one of my biggest issues with Dread, and I think this was like a common complaint for a lot of people, was that the game just reuses bosses a whole lot, and it's really not all that great. And the mechanical Chozo here, they were already kind of difficult to deal with, and you gotta deal with them a lot. It's not too great, if I'm being honest. And this guy right here, he's a litlittle more challenging than the first one we fought. I have to remember to try to get the melee counter in. Is this like, this is one of those Mega Man Mega Man XX-esque bosses to where, like, you need pretty quick fingers if you want to be successful, because you can see how much damage this guy is going to take, and because I'm yapping on, I might not actually do this on the first try. Yeah, it's even like one hit apiece. We want to stay up on the top, though, so it's easier to maneuver around for sure. You duck a little bit. Oh, can't do that one. Can't counter that one, even though I wanted to. It's just kind of difficult to counter sometimes. Okay, let's go ahead and, well, get hit by that. And die. First real game over. Fantastic. This guy's really not that difficult. I was just yapping on a bit. If you just stay to the top, he's not that hard. I was just taking unnecessary hits and not paying as much attention as I should have. Alright, so I'm gonna stay up here, try to pummel him with missiles. If he's red, we have to go on over. So we're just gonna dodge the gunfire, then if he does the regular one, like he's gonna do now, I hope. Nope, just the regular gunfire here. Let's see. Nope, not gonna work. No, give me the red, give me the regular. Then we counter, and we get like a whole lot of shots in on him. Okay, let's see here. There we go, I knew I could get at least one off. And you get a fair amount of health back when you do that too, so that's definitely the way to beat him down. So if I would stop yapping so much, I probably wouldn't have as much of a trouble with this. Okay, get that. Let's get you back over here. Oh, I need to not jump from number 3. And you can see here, yeah, the bosses in Dread, especially at this point, do a ton of damage. Okay, he should be exploding any second now, honestly. Okay, yeah, this should do it. And damage sponge! Die! Well, this is a little frustrating now. How many missiles have I pumped you full of, dude? Oh, come on. Got 15 left of these things, I guess. There we go. Jeez, yeah. Really not all that difficult, I guess. I mean, I didn't make it look very easy now, did I? That was kind of a pain, but... yeah, I don't really like how we have to repeat fight the mechanical Chozo, and also how just, man, just really, really damage spongy they can be. It can be really annoying after a while. Break you guys down before we actually go there. But yeah, if Bernerio is like the water one, this one is definitely like the green vegetation-y one. Yeah, kind of the, what's complicated? Not really Brinstar necessarily. I suppose like Talon Overworld? Because, you know, it had some rain. Oh yeah, Talon Overworld, just another one that had rain, just like the Pirate Homeworld. Oh wait, that's gonna hit me. Nope, don't want to fall again. But, yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, any other, like, greeny vegetation areas. Can't really think of it. But yeah, we don't even have to worry about the Emmy there. Look at that sucker. Screw you, bud. You're deactivated. You can't take care of me. Or you can't take me out, rather. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Let's beat this thing from far up. But I guess this might be a good opportunity to bring up what a lot of people do consider to also be a negative of Dread. Because we've seen a lot of areas up to this point. And I would tend to agree with this criticism for the most part. Or I'll say it after the Adam spiel. What's up, bud?
Uploading data.
Samus, you are approaching the surface. This area, Gathering, appears to be an underground forest. The Emmy have been deactivated, but Ravenbeak still desires the Metroid DNA within you. I have reviewed the video log of your encounter after your arrival. You were no match for him then. You are no match for him now. It is true that you have recovered many of your combat abilities. However, my analysis suggests that you would not be a worthy adversary for him, not even at full power. One thing still eludes me. Why did Ravenbeak spare you during that encounter? Something must have motivated him.
Hey, that is a good question. But yeah, thank you for being the optimist there, Adam. Even if my full capability, I wouldn't stand a chance against Ravenbeak. And he's probably shredded when he takes his shirt off. He's got like a 10-pack abs and everything. He's just completely unstoppable. But yeah, I really like how Adam is still like all dry and like, oh, very pragmatic, very fact-driven, like, yeah, Ravenbeak's pretty freaking awesome, you're not gonna stand a chance against him. But I also like how Ravenbeak's design is also that, like, he has the Chozo armor, right, and it looks exactly like Samus's armor, because that just freaking makes sense. Like, of course, like, more Chozo, like, armor that a regular Chozo wears would look the same as Samus's powers. Why wouldn't it? Oh god, and that comes at you so fast. Let's try that again. Boop! Gotcha. Sometimes it just takes more than one hit. But yeah, that negative. Again, we'll get to that in a sec because we get the super missiles! Yeah, just chugging right along right here. Which is great because, like, we have to use the missiles so often as it is, so the increased firepower will be pretty good. Although Dread has a nasty habit of just scaling the enemy's health right along with you, so who freaking cares? Hey there. Boop. Boy, for that one you kind of have to anticipate it. Like, you're not going to be able to really do a ton. Unless you kind of anticipate it for sure. Oh, we can blast open these doors now too. Yeah, we've seen quite a few areas here in Dread now. So does the music seem like especially memorable to you guys? Because I would say not really. I wouldn't even really say it's kind of more on the atmospheric side exactly. And I don't really mind that. I do like atmospheric music, but man, I think some of the tracks at Other M are a little bit more memorable from an atmospheric standpoint than the tracks here in Dread are. Don't really know what happened right there. I would have liked a few more series motifs to actually kind of reappear in this one. I know I was like slightly critical whenever Samus Returns used the Lower Norfair theme in like the hot areas, you know, the Ridley theme. Well, not really the Ridley theme, but the Ridley encounter theme or whatever you want to call it. But I would not have mind if, you know, we got a few more remixes right here in Dread to kind of call us back to the epic 2D Metroid tunes of old, you know? Don't really get that. It was really a treat to see like the lower Brinstar themes whenever we had our encounter with Quiet Road for sure, but other than that, music is kind of unremarkable. Which isn't really a big deal because the game is freaking epic, but I guess I would have just expected a little bit more from the 2D Metroid. But oh well, it is what it is. And another area, Eloon. Looks kinda tiny. Didn't really take a ton of time to load either, so that's how you can tell it's the smallest area in the game. Kinda dreary looking as well. Oh, speed boosting is so freaking epic here. Probably should have saved right there, but that's okay. Oh, what is this, a giant vault? Oh, I kinda feel like we shouldn't mess with things like this on this planet, Samus. Guess we get a free pass since we got the Chozo DNA, huh? The Chozo armor. Man, have you really thought about like how much of an amalgamation Samus's DNA is at this point? Like she's got the human DNA, of course, but you know, it's boring human DNA, who really cares? And then got the Chozo DNA, which has made her like super fit and slim and athletic and powerful and things like that. And now even has the Metroid DNA, where she's like the one organism in the entire galaxy that's immune to the X and has the power of the Metroids or whatever you want to go on about. Just, man, you got, oh, and then we also like absorbed like all the X and stuff, so we got human, we got Chozo, we got Metroid, we got X, like we're just everything at this point. Got the ultimate life form, that's us. And oh, there it is. You saw it. Here they are, guys. The X. Oh man, it is good to see them. And then just like in the old days, you take them out, and they leave behind a little X, and you can pick that up for health again, man. It's really cool to actually see these in, like, I know it's like a 2D Metroid game, but like in a non-base one, I think this is the first time we've ever seen like a 3D model for the X. And they look kind of weird because I'm so used to like the 2D sprite for the X, so it's so cool to see these guys right here. And just like back in Fusion 2, they'll possess pretty much any enemy that is on screen. If you kill it, you gotta go ahead and try your best to pick up that X, because they'll run away from you and they will create a brand new enemy. That can just be no good sometimes, but yeah, just adding to the sense of finality that Dread is, how it really is the grand finale to the Metroid tale, to the Samus tale. Everything is pretty much here. We got the X back, and we know how dangerous they are. But as if the super missile was not enough, we get the plasma beam. Before the wave beam? Really? Okay. Not really used to that, but yeah, we got the plasma beam. Freaking awesome, yeah. That is the firepower upgrade that we desperately needed to just cleave through these mechanical enemies now. Go ahead and touch you right quick. Although I would have preferred to get the wave beam first again, just because I guess old habits die hard whenever you play Super Metroid as much as I have throughout the years. But yeah, really good to have the plasma beam here that can really tear through enemies like no problem. At least non-X enemies. The X enemies still seem to be pretty resilient, because the game just loves to scale to our power, but the super missiles plus the plasma beam, like, man, in such a short time period, I can't really think of another example when Samus got so strong so quick, but alright, well, here we go. And speaking of more bosses, or speaking of escalation, just another boss yet again. Yeah, it really is just a non-stop boss marathon, back to back to back. Oh, another Chozo. In more similar looking armor as well. Member of the Mockin tribe, I suppose. And here we go, a Chozo Soldier! And these guys are just kind of like the mechanical Chozo Soldiers in the way that you need to have pretty quick fingers and a lot of good pattern recognition. Because whenever they do the little twirl with the spear, that's when you have to jump and then phase shift over, and they can get on the walls and just also try to crush you from there. But of course, that's not actually a Chozo, that is an X posing as a Chozo. So now the real battle starts. For the most part, he's got the same moves, but he does a little bit more damage. And I think for this one, yeah, it creates a little shock move at the bottom there. But again, I've kind of already memorized that pattern, so it's not a huge deal. Just jump over. Whenever they do the little flippy flip, that's your chance to just pump them full of super missiles. Now luckily I've got enough missiles to where I can be pretty liberal with how I apply the hurt. The one thing I don't like about these is that in order to beat them, you have to do not one, but 2 melee counters. And you have to do this to beat them! Oh, guys, why did you do that? Yeah, like, I think if you... Well, I know for sure, if you miss that melee counter right there, you'll have to do more damage to them, and it'll just reset the melee counter sequence, so you have to take them down with a melee counter. Really disappointing. In Samus Returns, I don't think it was ever really required that you had to do the melee counter necessarily, but not the case here in Dread. I think there's another example where you have to do it too, which is pretty disappointing. Don't really like that, but I guess you have to get good. Oh, you left the front door open, Samus! Look at all the cold air that's getting out! What am I trying to do? Air condition the whole freaking state? But no, it's a lot worse than the AC leaking out. I like how she's just watching like, well, nothing I can do about this now. I've dealt with these guys before, they definitely have a mind of their own, and there's nothing I can really do. Yeah, I still don't really, stand a chance against the speed booster if I go right into it, though. But yeah, now the X have escaped into every facet of ZDR, so you know what that means. All the enemies that we've seen up to this point, yeah, they're all stronger. They've all been souped up on the X, so great. Good to have you guys back. I take it back. It's not good to see you at all. I hate you guys. Although seeing some of like the mutant X forms of a lot of these enemies is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I guess we know what power that Emmy has. And poor Quiet Room. The guy shows up, he's the first ever live Chozo ever seen in a Metroid game. Immediately dies, immediately gets possessed by an X-Man. Man, can you have like a rougher lot in life than that happening? Just miserable all the way around. And there's the first example of an enemy getting all hopped up on the X drug, and I'm just going to ignore you guys. There's really no reason to try to take him down right here. Yeah. But since we have like the souped up powers of the plasma beam and the super missiles, you would think that like maybe this wouldn't be as difficult as previous ones here. Man, you do have to like melee counter these guys though if you want to take them out efficiently. As long as you do it a couple times, like you'll definitely get the hang of it. But here to give us the bad news, Adam, the Emmy are back. One of them has my ice beam.
Uploading data.
Or ice missiles after
The X
fusion,
have been
rather.
released from their confinement. They have now scattered across the planet. This is no doubt the work of Raven Beak. His motives are still a mystery, but your Metroid DNA grants you immunity to the X parasites. You can even absorb them. Perhaps it was some kind of message. Regardless, the X are here. They are overrunning the planet. They must be destroyed. Hurry to your ship, Samus. I trust you will make it here safely.
Wait, you're not gonna tell me that the Emmy have been reactivated? Dude. Well, I guess you wouldn't know that, huh? Because you're only learning what Samus has learned, so... Until she sees that the Emmy have been reactivated, why would Emmy? Why would Adam possibly know that? I'm just gonna go ahead and go around you. Don't want to deal with you today. Ah, here we go. God, it's the freaking blue one. Okay, so, up to this point, I have very much been like, the enemy, they're pretty good. You know, I lost to the yellow one because I was kind of careless, and, you know, I did have a bad roll right there, but, you know, it definitely could have been a little worse. That all changes right here. God, the enemy from this point are just a freaking crapshoot. As this one's about to show. I'm invisible, dude! Leave me alone! Yeah, not quite sure what I was supposed to do there.